Yes, we are live on Facebook. You can start.
Okay, good. Thank you, Archita.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday session on farm, environment and farm. Today, we have a very eminent speaker working on the solar energy, Mr. Bhaskar Kakoti. Let me explain the platform before I go on introducing Mr. Bhaskar. This platform is called Anajori, and Anajori is a not-for-profit platform that engages and promotes various kinds of initiatives that are striving for social and environmental changes, leadership building and entrepreneurship in particular Assam and in general Northeast. During the course of the last few months, Anajori has been engaging through virtual media and inviting experts from both field and academia to learn and enlighten participants of various fields to create a network amongst people interested in the development of Northeast. It is actively trying to connect the dots that can make visible changes in the lives and the environment of the people of Northeast. Bhaskar, as many of you would have already seen, is a very eminent person working in the sector of solar energy. Today, he is going to speak on applications of solar energies, where, why, and how. Bhaskar is a co-founder and director of Free Power Technologies Private Limited, and it is based in Assam in Guwahati. After completing almost 20 years of corporate life with very big brands like Tata Groups, Bhaskar has co-founded the company Free Power Technologies Private Limited, and since 2003 he has been running it. Free Power has been running its programs and activities with government and non-government agencies, particularly with Assam Energy Development and Department of Irrigation of Assam. Some of the things that he will let us know what his recent activities will be. And one of the requests that I would make to Bhaskar to not only just tell us about the solar energy, how, where, why, and how, but also let us through your personal journey to get us inspired that how all of this has happened and where it is going to end. So welcome to the platform, Bhaskar. The platform is yours. Please go ahead. Thank you, everybody, for participating on today's.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Sanjay, for a very nice introduction of mine. And thank you, Milind Datta and the team Anajori for creating this opportunity for me. Hope I'm audible. Hello.
Yes, you are audible to us.
Okay. So I have prepared a presentation to share. If you have ready with the thing to share, it will be better for me to go ahead.
So you can continue with your journey. Just within 5 minutes, I'll share it. I'm just bringing it back to my computer device.
Okay. Then, as Dr. Sanjay has requested me to share my journey, so of course that's not there in my plan was to share it at the end of my presentation. But as it's been told, the circumstances, I am sharing it, my journey so far. In fact, I had worked with corporates from 93 onwards. I started my working. Then I was with LIC Housing Finance. Then I worked for Usha International. Then in 2005, I joined the company Tata Group, Tata Sky. So that was actually a pre-launch period I joined. So I was part of the launching team of the company for the Northeast. I was the first person joining. So when I joined there, I had learned a lot of things. In fact, the brand creation, when we joined, the company name was not even Tata Sky. It was known as Space TV. So after some time, I have seen that from Space TV, it became Tata Sky, the brand was created. Then we launched after 1 year in 2006, and it grows. And it's a popular brand today. So that learning has inspired me to create something. That was the first thing that has come to my mind. So with an intention. Then in 2007-8, I started talking to my chartered accountant for financial things like creating balance sheet and all, so that when I go into business, I have ready with all these things. Then in 2011, I was realizing that Northeast per se, and if you compare the national level, we are far behind in infrastructure. And the energy becoming very important, critical infrastructure for development. I had an intention to do something new, but energy now comes again. When I back to Tata Sky, when we launched Tata Sky, it was a from cable to DTH platform. It was something new, which was, and so I was also curious to do something new. Then I read some article on this solar energy, how, because when I was in DTH, what is happening is Northeast, the cable penetration was very less because of our terrain. So similarly, in solar, I found that you don't need cable connection like the grid. So you have got terrains and you have got remote villages where actually we can reach and support them for a better life. So that was the thing which from where my solar thought came. And I remember in 2013, September, one Mr. Alakesh Setia, he is from Guwahati only. Many of you may know him. He's one of the pioneer person in solar energy. He is now based out of USA. There was an interview published in the Assam Tribune on him on the solar energy. At that point of time, he was working for Sun Edition company in USA, and so that has finally triggered my decision. Then I met my friend, who is also a founder and director, Suraj Thut. He is an engineer himself. So then we discuss and take it further. So finally, in December, we created this company. I quit my corporate job. And in fact, that was a difficult time. You need a lot of things to come from a regular salary situation to an uncertain situation where actually you begin from zero, honestly. So I am thankful to my partners who are mature businessmen and also my family who have always supported me. My wife and daughter, they were there with me when I started something from zero. In business, it's very important to keep yourself motivated, because there's no one who kicks you back in the morning or pat in your back. You have to do both yourself. So if you have a real, and it's not that finance it only goes, because sometimes you feel you need some mature advice also. So which was always there for me from my partners who has been traditional family business where they are. So they can always keep me motivated on this. So then we started our journey. We formed a company. Then initially we were thinking of, because we are not manufacturer either, we are a system integrator. That means in solar industry, system integrator means a person or an organization who integrate different component of solar. There are different component to get a solution, like solar panels will be there, solar inverter will be there. Then you have got batteries, you have got structures, cables, so everything integrated, and then you get a final solution. So we do that job. So we started integrating solutions for our customers, and gradually we get into the government departments and move on like this. And today we have completed 7 years in this industry. Our strength has been like we have always been dealing with quality products and service. So I can say even today, my old customers, the solutions I have given, they are still running. They are working it on a functional things. So I don't have a customer whose system is defunct today. I think that is my story so far. Maybe while going on my presentation, something comes, I will share. Dr. Sanjay?
Yes, sir. I will be playing now.
Okay.
Sir, is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah, it is.
Just
You
two
can
minutes.
take it
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the, yeah. So this is my company logo, Free Power, you have seen. So before I go to my the subject matter, I would like to tell little more about my company. That is already been told. 2013 we started. We have been we provide solution to our customers. We are a system integrator. I have already told what is a system integrator. We focus on quality products. And this thing already been told by Dr. Gupta that we are working for Assam government, Arunachal government, and we were a channel partner of MNRE, Ministry of. There was a concept of channel partner, but that has been scrapped now by government. So that actually it was a restriction. When if you are not a channel partner, you cannot do solar business, government business. That was like that. But it's good that government has scrapped it. Now anybody can start a channel business of solar energy sector. And we are MSME, a registered organization. This is our office in Guwahati. I would like to welcome you to visit my office for anybody who are at Guwahati. And these are some of the products that we are offering and services. This rooftop solutions for residential, commercial, street lights, different type of street lights. I will explain it on the primary presentation. Solar pumps, solar water heater, and solar home lightings. Solar home lightings is the most basic solution, in fact. These are few of our esteemed customers. I don't need to read it. You can have a look at it, I think. Then we are member for two primary. One is called CLEAN. CLEAN is a national level organization which basically work for decentralized energy entrepreneurs. And we are also member of FINAR. FINAR is Federation of Industries and Commerce Conversion. So it's one of the apex body for notice. So this also. Then I will go to my subject matter, application of where, why, and how. I'd like to explain you in a very raw form so that I believe I can give you some insight to you on the this solution. So where, if I go, it's actually everywhere. Yes.
Just a second. It is not synchronizing. Archita, can you, Bhaskar, keep telling her go next because your lecture and the PowerPoint is
okay.
not synchronizing.
Done. Okay. So you are here. I can see. Can we go to the next slide? Yeah, this I already explained. This one, these are our product and services. Then go next. Yes. This is, I think it's okay for everybody now. Application, just hold there.
Okay.
Okay. So from here, I would like to tell that we can actually use solar energy everywhere. Any place where it receives sunshine, solar. And you know, the beauty of solar energy, it can be used for very small domestic uses as well as larger, like industries. There's a small solar solution which can provide a clean light to a household in a very remote village, or a industry is also using energy which help them to cut on their energy cost. So it has a very diverse applications. Now comes why. Actually, solar power is environment friendly and sustainable. It's a very questionable things. I will come how. Then it is considered as the cleanest, most viable renewable energy. It saves on your money because solar generates electricity throughout the day. It saves on our purchase from the grid. If I generate my own energy, I don't have to buy from the grid. Then we have it protects us from prices. Basically, we see that every year almost like the prices of our energy bill goes up. And, our DISCOM means the power generation. Like for Assam, it is APTCL. DISCOM is distribution company. So that is also when you have own captive production, you invest once, it doesn't go up. So then it helps us reducing our carbon footprint, which is basically many of the industries and manufacturing companies are concerned about this point. It reduce dependence on our fuel for fossil fuel on our everyday life. And there is a government subsidy also. Government is promoting solars by providing subsidies on different things from time to time. And actual utility, actual utility and energy security. These two things I have highlighted. Energy security. Basically, if I look at our life from morning when we get up till we sleep, or even we sleep, we keep using energy for our from for a cup of tea in the morning, or in the whole day for driving or going to work in the office. Even now, this meeting, and even when we sleep, we use the air conditioner. So energy is and our life is actually lifestyle or life depend on energy. So now there has been a global concern. We become very selfish. It's good to be selfish on this point, that we feel that yes, we should have the security of energy. That means the fossil fuel that which is depleting every day, reducing, and prices going up should not be vanish one day and our life become insecure. So people have started thinking of alternate, and that is why government is also supporting it, and that is why solar is getting popular. Solar is being talked here and there. Although the actual utility part is another thing. Like if a farmer uses a solar for irrigation, or if a industry is using for their production, they are actually utilizing. But there are cases there where government subsidy or promotion is there. The people takes it, do not use it in the right way because they are getting it free from the government. That type of things is also there in solar. So yeah, while going on my presentation, we will come to next slide. Please go to next. Yeah, this is a basic classification of solar energy solution. There are two types of energy which generates from solar. One is a photovoltaic, which is basically the light energy, and another is thermal, which is the heat. So from photovoltaic, we have basically primarily two solutions. One is the off-grid solution, other is the grid-connected solution. And from thermal energy, we have solar water heating solution and solar concentrated thermal. Next. An off-grid solar power system. I will explain it. It's on a photovoltaic. This is a system where solar plant, which is independent of energy grid. Energy grid means the electricity line that comes to our home. It is independent. That is why it is called off-grid. So it has a battery bank where the solar energy is stored in the battery bank by the help of a PCU or a solar surge controller or an inverter. And that stored energy is used for consumption as per requirement of the user. The major component of the system is solar photovoltaic modules. We call it commonly solar panels, and solar power conditioning unit, which is called PCU, and a battery bank. Then in the off-grid system nowadays, some of the companies have started small solutions like solar inverters, which helps
Your mic is off, Bhaskar, for some reason.
Yeah, am I audible now? There was some phone call
Yeah.
came in. So in the solar inverter segment, basically there are locations, townships where there is a huge power cut. If you have a normal inverter, because of power cuts, the battery doesn't get charged in the daytime, and evening you are again falling into facing darkness problem. So if you use a solar inverter, that's there's sunshine, the solar will charge the battery so that you have a inverter backup available in the next day. So this is solar. This is a product which is selling off the rack now. Can you go to next, please? This is a small diagram for understanding. The middle one is the inverter. So we have source of energy. One is solar, which is coming from the top. Then it is storing in the battery. We also can make it a hybrid sort with the grid or generator. And then the load is as per the capacity of the solar plant. You can also run a refrigerator also, TV also, or if it is a small one, you can use only light and fan. So depend on the capacity. Next, please. So some pictures. This is an off-grid system. You can see that on the left side, the solar plates are being installed on the roof, and the battery and the PCU on the side. This is a battery bank. Next, these are the pictures. You can just keep moving. So this is a small inverter. There are 300-watt solar plates. So this is a 300-watt solar inverter solution. Hello. 1 kilowatt. There you can see 4 panels. These are 250-watt each panel. So 4 into 250 is 1000. So this is a 1 kilowatt solution. So go to next, please. No, you have crossed one slide. Yeah. Now comes the grid tie solution or on-grid solution. This is one of the very popular solution nowadays. So an on-grid solution is known as a grid connected or grid tie solution because it is connected to the utility or energy grid of the company or the electricity line of our household or office. The on-grid solar system can generate power only when it is connected to the grid and grid is available. If there is a power cut, the system also stops generating because of this. It's a safety feature. It is called islanding. I'll explain it in now. The grid connected solar system is capable of generating solar electricity by converting from DC to AC. It doesn't have a battery inbuilt. So either you consume it during the day or it uses the grid line for storage rather than a battery. So what is happening? The energy meter, which is normally installed in our house, is a single direction energy meter where we import the energy from the grid we buy. But if you want to install a grid connected solution, our energy meter is changed to a bidirectional meter where whenever required, we buy, or if we have a surplus energy produced by the solar, we can send it back to the grid. This provision is called net metering also. So the grid connected system is more beneficial for industrial and commercial users because they uses maximum usage is in the daylight, which is unlike for residents. In our residential situation, our maximum usage in the evening 5 hours. We use 70 to 80% of our energy in that period. But sun is not there. So but on case of industry or commercial, they use it in the daytime. So when they use their own captive production, they don't buy from the grid. Only the shortfall is far. And again, on Sunday or holiday, if the factory is closed on Sunday, they can export the entire energy to the DISCOM, means the grid, and they get a financial benefit. This is possible. Law has been made in many states, including Assam. Next, please. I will take if questions are there later on. This is a small diagram to explain. Here doesn't have battery, so grid is there. You can see, and AC breaker meter is there. So solar panel, everything same except for the battery. Next, please. These are some pictures. Like this is a 80 kilowatt power plant, which is in Shankardev Netralaya, Guwahati. I think everybody knows and who is in Assam about this hospital. It's running successfully there. Then we have another second is 100 kilowatt present power plant. This is in Arunachal Pradesh. Then this is a 20 kilowatt in Guwahati, KGMT hospital. These are all on-grid solutions. 5 kilowatt is to Bantal hospital. And this is again residents also you can have on-grid solutions. This is 2 residents in Guwahati. Now comes the other product, solar water heater. This is a basic product from the solar thermal solutions. So it uses the heat of solar energy, where it is useful for domestic as well as commercial, like hotels, hospitals, hostels, guest house. And this is very economical because if you use a commercial electric heater, the 15 liter, the almost smallest one, takes 2 kilowatt of energy required for heating the water. Whereas in solar water heater, the consumption is 0. similarly, it is counted, the productivity, it is counted on liter per day, because solar being a day phenomenon, it cannot hit. If you buy a 100-liter capacity model, that means during the day, this will give you 100 liter of hot water. And normally, as per industry norms, a 100-liter is suitable for 4 person using a same bathroom, one bathroom. Basically, if you go for distribution, that in the pipe of distribution line, the water may be cool down. So that is why I'm saying it can heat up to 70 degrees Celsius on a very sunny day. And overnight reduction of temperature is hardly 10 degrees, because the tank is insulated very well. There are two type of collectors. The solar water heater, unlike photovoltaic here, because we have to keep water, they are called collectors. So collectors are of two different types. Please go to the next slide. I will explain it. Yeah, you can see FPC means flat plate collectors. There's two models of FPC, and then you can also see ETC, evacuated tube collector. That means glass tubes are there. That is also shown in the picture on the top. Next, please. So this is, you see, one is 500 liter, one is 200. That means the collector is of 100-liter capacity. For 200, you have two collectors. For 500, it is 5 collectors. And the tank capacity accordingly increases or decreases. Next, please. This is a commercial things, 2000 liter. Here, the collectors are of 125 liter capacity. That is why this not 20, it is 16 are there. Next, please. Now comes the street lights. I think all of us have seen this is probably the one of the first utilization of solar energy in the mass way by the government. So this is the benefit is that anybody, it can be installed anywhere and it operates automatically. There's a sensor available, so when it is dark, the lights on itself, and when there's a dawn in the morning, it closes on. So it's very useful. And nowadays there has been a lot of development in this thing. Like now, lithium ion or lithium peroxide batteries are used, which are powerful batteries, doesn't require maintenance. So the efficiency of the street light has gone up. And the components are like the battery can now be installed inside the luminary, because lithium ion or lithium phosphate size wise very small. So they are inside, and the pole, on the top of the pole, you have the modules. We also have another advanced system which is called all-in-one, where all are integrated. I will show the picture in the next slide, please. The left side is a conventional one where there's a battery box in the pole. So what is happening in the battery box now? The battery is like have utility everywhere. It is either get theft if you do it keep it low. Theft is very prone to theft. There was a huge problem of theft in battery, and then finally, because of that, battery is taken away, the light defuncts. Again, if you put it on the top, because this lead acid battery requires maintenance, you cannot maintain on the top of the pole. So there also the light gets defunct. So now the latest one, which is shown in the right side, where this box has been, we have done away with that. So we have got integrated battery system installed with the luminary, which is maintenance free and long.
You are muted, Bhaskar, once again.
Hello?
Yeah, you are back.
Yeah. So there's a difficulty doing from phone actually. So this is a all-in-one. Here you can see the solar plates are on the top of the light. The LEDs are from the below. So this is the very modern type of. Only thing is that as it is fixed, it can be used. Difficult to use on the streets always, because if you have curves, because the solar panel has to be put in the southern direction necessarily. So in the road, sometimes it's difficult to match with the light and road. So this is better for parking areas and all. This is one. Second slide, please. Next slide. Here, this is a picture of IIT Guwahati. In one of the parking lot, we have installed this all-in-one street lights. Whatever picture I am sharing is of my own work only, all the pictures, just for information. The next slide, you can see day and the night phenomena. On the left side, the picture was taken in the daytime. The same picture of the same location, taken in the night, is showing how it looks. Next, please. Then now comes the solar pump. Solar pump is a very revolutionary solution available to the farmers for irrigation. Farmers were using diesel pumps earlier. Even government was supplying diesel pumps. But the buying diesel is a very challenging thing for the farmers. The prices of diesel keeps going, and sometimes because of spillover of diesel and the farmers spilled, the paddy fields or whatever, the crops get destroyed. So all problems have been taken care of by this, and now on a very large scale, government is supporting for solar pumping. Both AC and DC model of surface submersible both pumps are coming. So normally it has a solar PV module, controller, and a pump. Even this doesn't have a battery. Solar pumps doesn't require a battery. It operates because normally farmers work in the daytime. So it's the pumps can run from morning till afternoon. Whole day it can run and can give water continuously. So that is how it is going to change the whole agrarian economy. Next, please. This is the picture. One on the left side is the PV panel array, which is for pump. On the middle is a small controller, which can actually be fixed on the below the solar module. And on the right side is a surface pump. It's a 2 HP surface pump. Next, please. So this is a submersible pump, 5 kilowatt, 5 HP. This was installed in Onasal, in fact. Second, keep going. This is a surface pump, 2 HP. Just now I have shown. In case of surface pump, the pump is actually kept on the top of the well. This is also, we have worked in some places of Assam. Because these are flat prone area, we have raised the base of the solar modules. Next, please. Now comes second slide, please. This is solar home lighting. Solar home lighting is a very basic lighting solutions. This is a compact solution. It has one module, normally 5 to 10 watt peak, small modules, one charge controller, one small battery is there, and it supports 3 bulbs, one mobile charging point. And if you use a higher size of battery and a module, a fan can also be added to it. And these are mostly on the government schemes or CSR scheme by the PSUs, and some of the semi-urban rural upcountry markets, it is sold in the market also to buy. Next. These are pictures of lantern and small home lights, very small panel kept on the top. Sometimes because of tape, they kept morning, they take it out at the yard, front yard, and then take it back. And I think that way they also do. Next, please. Same home lighting fixtures. These are LED bulbs used. Next, please. This is another product which is actually we have given here. And this is called aerator. In fishery, the level of oxygen is very critical for the aqua products. Like fish, they can grow in it. The capacity of the pond or the fishery can increase if you can provide oxygen. So there are two types of aeration system. One is for the underwater, one is surface water. Basically, the commercial fisheries, the depth is hardly 4 feet to 5 feet. There we have to use the one in the left side, which is called a surface aerator. And if it is a fishery with good depth, like 10 feet or beyond that, so you can use a submerged aeration, which is basically a diffuser sort of thing, which is normally used in aquariums, the higher, bigger version of aquarium. So they keep creating oxygen for the, and when there's a scarcity of oxygen, the aqua animals, fishes or whatever, normally fishes, they come near to the point to get oxygen. So this helps. This has a very good potential commercially here. Next, please. So this is what product about. Now I would like to explain, harp on the point. Basically, there is a question which always comes to our mind: how much Northeast is suitable for using solar energy? So here I am using what solar insolation. Solar insolation is a like the kilowatt hour of solar radiation that falls in a square meter of area per day. So this is the measurement of intensity of solar. Based on this, the productivity of any solar solution is counted. So I have taken comparison of few towns from India: New Delhi, Bangalore, Calcutta, Guwahati, Mumbai, and Munich, Germany. Because I had chosen Germany, I think many of you knows that Germany is known for using maximum solar energy in the world. So if you look at that, if you look straight away, this is month wise. I'm going to the average line below. The 5.06 solution is for Delhi, 5.26 Bangalore, 4.67 is Calcutta, 4.7 is Guwahati, 5.9 is Mumbai, and 3.15 is. So what I'm going to say here is that we are not behind. We are not deprived of solar energy here. We may be, and we should not compare it nationally always, because solar is not a national phenomenon. It's a global thing, universal thing. So universally looking, we are much better than many places in the world. Now it is like there's an example of a half-filled glass of water. A glass of water when half, that's a typical example where it says whether how you look at it. Is it a half fill or half empty? So it's the perception, how we see it. So if you look at half fill, and what we are using about that half fill glass of water. So are we using it? One critical thing here I would like to mention. The question here is the sunny hour. The sunrise and sunset timing is little lesser than many places because of our geographical location. So that is one issue which is here. But again, I will come in during the rainy season. There's a indirect help also. Our solar modules for giving performance need to be maintained, clean up. For Assam, on the rainy season, you don't have to clean. The nature takes care of it. And after a rain, the production, because of the clean climate environment, the production goes up suddenly. And only in 3 to 4 months, we need to clean regularly on the winter, maybe from now to March, from December to March, you need to clean regularly. So that is another, again, an advantage. Can you go to next? This is some pricing, because solar module is the main component of thing. I'm showing the price trend from 2015. The price is in watt, okay, per watt. So it means one solar plate, normally the capacity comes like, it may be of 100 watt, it may be of 300 watt, it may be of 335 watt. Normally now industry is using 335 watt peak solar plate. Each plate is 335. So if it is 335, in 3 modules, you can have 1 kilowatt of solution. So this price, there are 2 categories. One is 12 volt solar plate, another is 24 volt. The 12 volt is a smaller plates, like which comes from 5 watt to 165 watt. These are normally used for inverters, solar inverters, where because 12 volt, a battery is normally a 12 volt solar. So for charging a single battery, you need a 12 volt solar plate. So that these 12 volts are used there. And for higher things, higher capacity solar plant or solar pump, we are using 24 volt solar panels, and that price is different. That's capacity also started from single panels. Capacity is starting from 300 watt. Now most popularly uses 335 watts. So their prices, you can say in 2005 it was 36 rupees per watt. Now it is 20 rupees per watt. Then in 12 volt it was 46 rupees. Now it is 25 rupees. It is costlier because the aluminum cost and the product capacity. Can you go to next slide? So it is coming down. That's a good thing. So I'm trying to give you some price idea about because you must be thinking, if I want to have it, how much will be the budget? Home lightings are normally 2,500 to 7,500 per unit. Solar inverter, I have mentioned that the below small things, which is You can have from 36,000 to 75,000 based on your capacity you want to use of battery and solar plate or in an inverter. And plant, on-grid plants, 60,000 to 50,000 per kilowatt. It is on reverse. That means if you want a 1 kilowatt on grid, it may 60,000. But if you want a 10 kilowatt of on grid, it will be 50,000. If you want a 100 kilowatt, it may be 45,000 also. Similarly, in off grid, it is costlier because of the battery and the whole system also. It started from 1,15,000 to 90,000. It's for from 1 kilo to 10 kilowatt. It goes. The higher is the capacity, the price goes down. Similarly, water heater for 100 LPD, if you go for flat plate collector, this will cost you about 36,000. But if you go for ETC, evacuated tube collector, that will be 28,000 or something. And it multiplies for higher capacity. Street light, it may from 24 watt to 15 watt, different capacity. So 27,000 to 19,000, you can get, I think at a minimum cost of 19,000, you can get a good 15 watt LED lithium ion based street light with pole and installation at home. And water pump, basically 1,20,000 per HP to 95,000 per HP. That is some price sometimes vary also on for a higher capacity pump, it will go down again. Next, please. This is the consumer scenario, buyer segment. Basically, if you look at the government is the major buyer here till now, and this is the major component. Then comes little bit of commercial and PSUs are now like Oil India, IOCL, NRL. They are installing for their own consumption. Maybe there's a mandate from the central government they have enforced to use it. So they are buying. And CSR, we having a very less company doing CSR, so it's very less. Defense is buying, and individual buyers is very less. So this is a more or less an idea of what is the buyer segments of buyers. I'm sharing this. I hope there will be some budding entrepreneurs in the group today. Maybe this information will be useful for them. Next slide, please. Here, the business scenario product-wise. So rooftop solutions are basically on-grid or off-grid. These are buyers, maybe users or buyer. It may be user, it may be buyer. So sometimes the user is not the buyer. Somebody else pays for someone else for the user. So residential and commercial, government, all are buying. Street lights, all type of this, some residential, commercial, and government again. Solar pump, absolutely government is buying only. No farmers is buying because they cannot afford to buy themselves. In some cases, government is giving totally free to the farmers. In some cases, sometimes they give on a small amount of contribution is taken from the farmers. Water heater, residential, commercial, and government. So and everybody is using. And home light, there are direct buyers in the rural market, but most of the home lights in quantities are still on CSR or government schemes and projects. Next. Some of the issues that I would like to highlight for the people. There's an awareness issue, educating users yet to be educated. We have lack of resources, like we don't have 10 manpower. And MMS means the module mounting structure. The solar panels are provided with 25 years of warranty, but here the mounting structures are not good quality available. You have to brought. Then product quality also. Sometimes many sources are there. There were some products which are coming from imported from other countries are not good quality. Then companies doing one-time government work here, not providing services. Then finance is also an issue for the users. Consumer mindset. I will explain last few later on. Just going on. Please go to the next slide. I think I have to be faster this time. Please go. Next slide. Finance. Actually, the finance, you can say the ecosystem is not there. We have finance available, not available for user or even people like us. The banks are ready to finance for loans or car or solar system, not available for. So I'm just about to finish. Then consumer mindset. The people do not want to. People are ready to buy 10 lakhs watt vehicle, but not 1 lakh watt solar system of their own because they think it's a government responsibility. And lack of ownership is another important. Government is distributing free, so people do not own it because they don't pay for it, and as a result, they don't maintain it. Sometimes the word of mouth publicity is that solar doesn't work, it's bad because they don't pay it, don't maintain it, and there's been a lot of doubts. Go ahead, please. It is very important. If I am asking the lot, do you remember any advertisement on solar? Even if you see that small 10 rupee, 5 rupee advertisement, you can see in the newspaper or in the TV. I personally remember in the last IPL, the Luminous was advertising on solar. Otherwise, there are so many companies, nobody advertises on solar. The commercial advertisement, only there are informative advertisements sometimes given by the government department. Please go ahead. That's a very important critical element of this industry, actually. Hindrance, rather. Please go ahead. Subsidy is a very important factor. It plays a critical role because when solar industry came to India, the government was providing different subsidy up to 90%, but gradually it has been withdrawn. And now, as on today, if you ask me, there's no subsidy for the residents. There was a subsidy for residential users till October. This scheme was closed, but they will again announce, this keep coming. So the only subsidy which was available 2 months back was the subsidy for residential rooftop. And for farmers, there's a subsidy that is again by agriculture department. But while agriculture department subsidy was there, NABARD has supported something which is totally coming free under PM-KSY to the government for solar pumps. That's fully free. So this are different things, but there's confusion. There is a complex process. Obviously, subsidy government free things will take some complexity is there. Next, please. There are some business propositions which are available for entrepreneurs, like they can think of supplying products, installation and commissioning work, product servicing. There's a very good scope for servicing, maintenance. One can think of being solar integrator like us, then manufacturing of mounting structures. And PV module, I'm keeping it on the last because the market size is not as big for Northeast. And they're like any other manufacturing unit except for cement, probably. Then the approach, I'm saying this is not a product business. This is a concept plus product business. So one have to have a lot of patience and passion to be in this business, dedication and long-term plan. It's not a small term. It doesn't cook immediately. It takes time. We are still learning, still struggling. Next, please. So I'm about to conclude with this message to you. Let's be the change we wish to see in the world. Thank you, everybody. And my contact is in the second slide. Everybody is welcome to get me. Thank you. And it's open for you for any question that you have.
Thank you so much, Bhaskar, for this very enlightening, inspiring presentation.
Thank you.
The floor is open for questioning. Can I put a couple of questions, which you have rightly pointed out, but I would just like to reiterate.
Yes.
Which is a combination of two things. Perception that the Northeast zone is low radiance because of this climatic zone, which you have shown that how Munich and Guwahati are two low radiance places, but it's still much higher than Munich in Germany. So this perception, so how do you get rid of such perceptions? Does the advertisement will work? And if it works, then who does it? And the second question is what it takes to be an entrepreneur in solar energy, because so far it has been government driven schemes.
Yes, please.
So far it has been government driven schemes, a lot of expectations on subsidy and everything. I was talking with you last night on the subsidy part. How do we change this perception? Because something which is combined with subsidy, people always think that the government will provide eventually, probably for free. How do we get out of this? Yeah, that's the question probably I would like to.
Okay. First question is about perception about Northeast and all. It's getting gradually changes because people have started adopting. And it needs a lot of advertisement, publicity from the government, even from the company, even maybe 5 people like us also should publicize on this. And the talk show, I'm thankful that you have come up with this program. This also help, this message will go. Basically, there was a lot of process initially when there was a lot of happenings on solar were happening, doing not projects were going on, government schemes were running successfully in the western side of India. We were far behind. But if you look at generally, I will say we should not be creep only about solar. We are far behind in every other scheme. So that's nothing wrong about it. So we should take the maximum advantage of the situation and use it. I'm telling you, we are. It may year or two say like I'm saying, if you put 100 kilowatt of solar plant without subsidy in Rajasthan, your ROI for a businessman, return on investment, will be completed within 4 to 5 years maximum. And here it will be maybe 6 to 7 years. That is the difference only. And solar modules have 25 years of warranty. So you have a lot of time. So this just for 2 or 3 years of difference, one should not be crying. That need to be changed. Only can be changed by this type of conferences and publicity. And another question was regarding subsidy. So subsidy is actually a killer of this industry. If you see, it's still called uh, government is still controlling a lot of things. Like it's not open. It should be open to the market to run as per like the prices. There's a Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Government of India every year publish one benchmark prices. The benchmark prices is calculated based on sitting at Delhi, which doesn't match the difficulties of Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, or Assam. We have got so many things, and this create a lot of problems here. Like sometimes on that basis, the parties, some government schemes, the business is taken in from somebody from Gujarat or Delhi, and when they come over to Arunachal, they found that it cannot be executed here at that price, and the project fails. So I as a business in having spent 7 years, I expect that there should not be any subsidy. There's government should just come out of this like any other industry. It will flourish. If you look, solar first started in India in way back in 1991. Tata Solar started with it. And if you look at TTS, if you look at mobile industry, this came far behind. 98, 96 mobile industry revolution, and where they are and where solar industry. So I expect that government intervention on decontrolling is required. It will automatically go up because it has got utility. Anything else?
The virtual platform is open for everybody now.
Okay, can I ask a question, Sanjay?
Hi.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Hi, Bhaskar.
Hi.
It was a very, very enriching session today.
Thank you.
I have a question here. Okay, I live in a flat which is say around 15, 16 years old in Mumbai. Okay. Now we have been given solar panel by the builder, which is Hiranandani builder, where we can only use it for running one geyser and a small set of lights. Now, as an individual flat owner, can I install more? And how do we go about it in such scenario?
You can do it.
Builder has provided very little.
I know. What you will require is you need to have a space which has to be allotted to you by your society. Because that's
got to be a rooftop.
Yeah, that rooftop space will be required. For 1 kilowatt, you need 100 square feet. 1 kilowatt need. So if you want to install 5 kilowatt, you can run a AC. One ton AC can be run with 2 kilowatt solar. Okay. Then the light and fan doesn't require much. In 1 kilowatt, you can light up entire house and run you and all 4-5 fans. So if you want to increase it by 2 kilowatt or 3 kilowatt, first thing you need to have a space allotted to you by the society and the rooftop. And rest you can obviously do of your own. There are much better integrator like us in Mumbai. So it's doable.
It's doable. As an individual flat owner, also we can increase.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. Only issue like here also, we have not been able to do much in flats because the society doesn't allow someone to use that space. Other complaints, other members of the apartment complex.
Oh.
No, the space will be occupied.
No, Mumbai, it's happening. Very largely, it's happening. But since our building is pretty old now, it wasn't so very popular back then. So I want to go ahead as an individual flat owner. Like, so it's
Yes, you
doable as
can
you
do it.
said.
That is not an issue. Maybe you're the discom, the power, when Mumbai power, where from you get
Yeah.
the energy, that you have to take a NOC from them to increase the capacity. They will provide it. That's easy thing. Your energy bill.
Thanks, Dr. Bhaskar. It was really very informative session.
Thank you.
Learned today.
Thanks for sparing the time.
Bhaskar,
Yes, Milin, tell me.
Maurice, are you done? Do you have more questions?
I'm done, Milin. Thanks.
So, Bhaskar,
Yes.
I have a few question opinion. So
Yeah.
one is we have lots of what do you call this cycle solar panel on top of that.
Where? Come again.
Auto in rickshaw.
Oh, yes. Auto rickshaw. Yeah. E-rickshaw. E-rickshaw.
on the top of that.
Yeah. In fact, I also wondered about doing it. A lot of people has tried to do it, but it's not successful yet. Reason is that the requirement, they have got 4 batteries. 4 batteries are there in every e-rickshaw. The amount of energy they need to charge that 4 battery cannot be installed on the top of the rickshaw. So that is why it's not been successful yet. Some people have tried on an experimental basis, even in Guwahati also, I know, but didn't work. And the time required, the e-rickshaw commercially, they are cannot wait so much of time. Hello?
Okay. And so in California, they for any new structure, they made it compulsory now that they have to put solar panel.
Solar panels, yeah.
Okay, they give some subsidy and all that stuff.
Okay.
But they have to put yeah. So how can we do that also here for new buildings that they make?
Yes. In fact, in Bangalore, it is mandatory to install 1 solar water heater on every house. Okay, and that is strictly implemented by government. That is why in Bangalore city we can see a lot of solar water heaters almost in every house. The same thing is there in our GMDA rule also. Fortunately, unfortunately, in the government GMDA, Guwahati Municipality Development Corporation bylaws also says that you should have installed solar water heater. But unfortunately, the enforcing agency is not active on this part. So that is why it is not happening. The rules has been made. The enforcement or implementation is not yet happening.
I think that is always the problem. My last question is, in Minneapolis. So what we initially what I installed solar panel now, but before that, what we could do was that, say I do not have enough space for solar panel, okay, on my roof. So the electricity provider, the company, they work with a solar panel company. The solar panel company comes and they will look your bill and they say, okay, you consume this much energy per month, so you need this much, right? So they said that, okay, you use say 10, 20 kilowatt or whatever, 20 kilowatt, all right? So they will say that, okay, we will provide the 20 kilowatt for you, for which we will add more panel to
farming. Yeah. Actually, that is also there in the rule. That is called wheeling. Now in Assam also, say like you have a.
So could you explain to other people what that means?
That means I'm telling you the rule is like that, or the provision is, say you have a big area available to you. It may be a roof area or maybe a ground area where you can install a 500 kilowatt of solar plant. So that plant will, you actually do not need this. Now you can sell it to a person. Say your project is at 100 kilometers away from Guwahati, maybe near Nagaon, and you want to sell it someone to at Guwahati, you can infuse that energy to the FPDCL, the grid line there at Nagaon, and the FPDCL will charge some wheeling charges. Wheeling means the transmission, the freight basically, to you, and the same energy can be made available to the person at Guwahati. That law is there. And if it is your own, say you have a factory at Nagaon and you also have a factory at Jorhat, so you have more space in Nagaon, and you want to have use that energy at Jorhat also. So there will be no wheeling charge taken to you. You just give it to FPDCL here. You say you infuse 100 kilowatt every day to FPDCL in the name of Jorhat account. That 100 kilowatt FPDCL will give you at Jorhat factory without taking extra charges. Am I clear your point?
Yeah, and for us, it was like me as a resident, I said that, okay, I'm going to subscribe from you, the company, solar panel company. All right. So say I was paying 100 rupees to the
grid connection. Here you can have your own purchase agreement. That rate can be 5 rupees, 8 rupees, anything.
Yes, and they give a subsidy. In fact, the government, they give the subsidy. So they encourage solar panel. So they basically, Excel Energy say that, okay, instead of your rate to be 100 rupees, you can have it for 80 rupees. So so those our imagine to Assam Electricity Board, they may not be providing the energy, but the XYZ solar panel company will provide.
Not skilled.
Okay, so the government is basically empowering or allowing solar panel people to have solar energy going towards solar energy. নিজৰ roof নকৰিলেও হ'ব, কাৰোবাৰ বেলেগৰ ফাৰ্মত কৰি আছে, this farm but it is going for solar.
Our solar these provisions are available in our solar policy. Government as an incentive, they are saying basically, I'm just explaining, there is a solar power exchange for entire country. Power exchange is there. Every day there is a bidding happening in the power exchange. All our DISCOM, APDCL or any state DISCOM, they participate in the bidding like stock exchange. So it is bidding is happen every day up to 12 noon, and the rate is fixed for the day. And the rate, normally the Assam government buys, Assam APDCL buys is around 3 rupees in the bidding exchange. From there, they give the wheeling charge, like the vehicle freight, they have to pay wheeling charge to the Power Grid Corporation first, then the state power lines also. Like if it is they are buying on a exchange from say from Tamil Nadu, the Tamil Nadu state board will charge something, then it Power Grid, National Power Grid, then Assam APDCL, all put together, then their final price comes to the customer. Similarly, here as an incentive, they are saying if you are a solar manufacturer or you are producing solar energy at one place and you want to transmit it to your own another place within Assam, they will not charge you anything for that. The wheeling charge will not be taken. That is one incentive if it is same. And if you want to sell it, this solar policy does not say that you can sell it to a third person, the way you said. Rather, you can sell it to APDCL directly. You can set up a solar power plant where the produced energy will be sold to the APDCL. You can have a power purchase agreement with APDCL for selling that. Is it okay, Milind? Am I addressing the point?
Yes.
Is there any other question from anybody else? Otherwise, I'll have a final question before we call it up.
Hey, Bhaskar, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dipankar, go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for the informative talk. Just a quick question on the regulatory frameworks for this. In some of the states, mandatory solar installations for residential units are coming. In Karnataka, where I live, for example, they have a KERC mandate since 2007. Any dwelling over 600 square feet has to have solar water heating, right? I mean, you were talking about
Yes.
the thermal solar
Yes,
thermal plants.
I'm referring to that.
So those
thermal.
are mandatory,
Yeah.
and it's likely that other types of solar will also become sort of mandatory in places like in those. So just wondering whether similar sort of discussions are going on in
Yes.
Assam, in the Northeast, anywhere, any other states,
Uh,
sort of
in
looking at regulatory framework,
regulatory
mandating
framework.
solar power for certain types of dwellings.
Yeah, I got your point. Actually, in Guwahati means GMDA, Guwahati Municipality Development Corporation, in their bylaws, it is mentioned that one has to have installed in the rooftop the solar water heater, and under certain cases, if it is a bigger, you have to install a solar power plant. That is there in the bylaws, but it has the implementing. They have to implement, but means implementing when they are giving the NOC for occupancy certificate. They don't look at it. So people are not keen on doing it, keen on that investment. So steps has been taken, I will say. Maybe we few more steps is required to be taken on that line so that we finally reach a level where Karnataka is today doing. And I look forward for that impact as a business proposition.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the amount of, given what the Europeans are doing, for the amount of sunlight that we receive, it makes no sense not to have, some level of solar power.
One thing, Deepanka, I would like to hear is like, if government of Assam offer any subsidy to them or even a tax rebate, say like if the municipality corporation offers that if you install a solar water heater, you will give a 20% rebate on your property tax. I think people will go ahead, but they are not ready to do it. In fact, Guwahati, a lot of hospitals is there because we have two organizations looking at this. One is GMG, another is GMC. For any scheme that comes up, there's a fight between these two organizations, and it's very unfortunate.
Yeah, I think the rebate was there for, I think you mentioned that earlier, the rebate was there for solar thermal equipment. When I bought my solar thermal panels,
yeah, it was till 2000.
I actually got they had to kind of take a photo and send it as a proof to the Ministry of
New and Renewable Energy, Government of India.
New and Renewable Energy. So there was a discount associated at the time of purchase of the equipment. So I actually did get a rebate on the actual equipment for that.
Yes, you were right. You were right.
And I think something like those schemes will definitely be very helpful for manufacturers and integrators.
Incentives should be there. People will go for it, I will say.
So
thank you.
To come to the end of the session, let me ask you one devil's question then.
Yes,
what if somebody tries to complain that X building, X apartment, or X, they don't have the solar power installed on them for the water heaters, so they should be penalized. Say if a person makes a complaint to GMDA or GMC, is there a provision that they can be penalized? Because that might trigger that if I don't install one of them.
I have a peculiar case. One person came to me in Guwahati. He said he want to install first a solar inverter. Then he said, I will also install a solar water heater. I was wondering, then over a conversation, he said, there was deviation in my construction of the building. So I'm doing a trade-off with GMDA by installing this solar power plant under thing. So there will be, because if I go to your question, definitely there will be something can be done. Now thing is that by complaining, would you like to create an enemy for you?
Complaint can be anonymous also. It doesn't have to.
That is there, but the only thing is that authority has to be like that. That is the thing. Otherwise, that is there. Because he made a trade-off. I know he said I could save my building. I got my occupancy certificate because you have installed these two things at my residence.
Okay, if there are no questions, let me thank you, Bhaskar Kakati, for the wonderful presentations. Very, very inspiring, though. And on this platform of Anagery, we'd like that that some of the collaborations happens, I would be personally interested to meet you physically and visit your office to see
Always welcome. Always welcome.
what can be done together. So to end, a very thank you, Bhaskar, and a very thank you everybody who participated here and on the Facebook live stream. Thank you so much, and have a good day and have a good week.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.